We are here with the Help Hope Heroes podcast.
Stephen Center, for me, they believed in me when I didn't believe in myself.
Recorded live at a homeless shelter.
I basically reinvented myself with the Stephen Center.
Our clients are the homeless, the addicted, those in poverty.
We fight the good fight.
Tear down some stigmas.
They taught me those life skills that I didn't have.
What does Help Hope Heroes mean to you?
If you come to the Stephen Center, you will be changed in a really good way.
All right, welcome to our Help Hope Heroes podcast. We are here on episode 2 today.
Right.
We are the Help Hope Heroes podcast. It's a Stephen Center podcast. We are recording live at a homeless shelter. I am the main host today. My name is Michael Murphy. I'm the marketing director here at Stephen Center, and I'm here with my colleague.
Co-host, this is Matt Keys. I'm the crisis intervention therapist here at Stephen Center.
And today we are very fortunate to have a special guest with us. His name's Sam. Sam, could you introduce yourself?
My name is Sam.
All right. And we got to know Sam because he's been a client here for the last couple months. And you've been staying in our emergency shelter.
Yes.
Can you tell us what brought you to Stephen Center to begin with?
Well, I had the misfortune of losing my apartment, and I had no place else to go, and I had heard from other people that has been here about the Stephen Center being clean and how nice the staff was. So I decided to try it. Best move I ever made.
Now, why is that? Why do you say it's the best move you ever made?
Well, in the first place, I acted like a man with respect. I received the same. I received all the help I needed. I'm leaving today with a new apartment, furniture, all the help that I need to start my life over again.
That's amazing. That's got to feel good.
Great.
That is amazing because when you first came to our doors, you didn't have quite that sense of self in you. It was a different situation. You found that once again, right?
Yes, with help, with a lot of help from the staff and people around me. You know, everybody treated me better than I ever been treated in my life, you know, really. And I've always been a trucker since I was like 21 when I came out of the military. And I've been a lot of places, been most of the states, the United States, parts of Canada. And I'm more or less a loner, you know, but here I began to open up a little bit and, you know, hang out with the guys, so to speak. And I try to talk to them when I would see that they was really doing something wrong and against the rules. I would speak to them. Some would listen, some didn't. So the ones that didn't listen, I just write them off.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't have the patience to keep telling you the same thing day by day, you know, and the ones that listened, I basically hung out with them, you know, because I figured they understood me like I understood them, you know. And I've had this was the best blessing I think I've had other than, you know, from illnesses.
Yeah.
I've had great help here.
We're so glad to hear that.
I had great, yes, thank you. And I had great respect for the staff. And the staff in turn gave me that respect back, you know. And it wasn't a special favor. It was what they tried to do for everybody.
Yeah. But
I learned that you can't help everybody.
Yeah.
Because they don't want it. They haven't hit rock bottom or whatever. And they, you know, they're ready to go out and do what they was doing again. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's a waste of your time and energy, and it's a waste of their time.
Yeah. Some people just aren't ready.
They're not ready.
Right.
You know.
Absolutely.
You gotta reach a level in your life where this is bottom for me. There's only one way I can go, and that's up. Yep. And I'm working towards that, you know. The mistakes I made out there, I don't intend to make them again. I'm 84 years old.
Wow. You don't look it, actually. I'll tell you that much. You don't 84?
Doesn't he look like he's an amazing 84
That
years
isn't
old?
amazing.
That is unreal.
If I see 84.
Right?
Yeah.
I want to look like him.
Yeah.
I really do.
Well, thank you.
Right?
Thank you.
And it is really amazing that you've found that level of support. You've got that renewed sense of self. You've got that dignity. You've got that respect, and you are moving on and moving up today. This afternoon, as a matter of fact, in about an hour, you're going to be leaving us, and you're going to be. He is so anxious to get into his own apartment.
I bet
he's getting into it without furniture.
Yeah.
His furniture is going to take a week at minimum to get there. He's going to sleep on the floor, and he's happy to do it.
Hey, you're not sharing a dorm anymore, right? I
Right.
mean,
That's
you've been,
right.
You know, we have a nice dorm.
I know.
But it's still, you're sharing it with 31 other folks.
Right.
So
This is one of the cleanest, I believe it is the cleanest shelter that you're going to find anywhere.
and who keeps it clean? It's the clients. That's what I
Right.
love
Clients
about it.
keep it clean. They take pride in their duties. They do their duties to the best of their abilities. And some of the guys that don't even have a duty to do anything at that particular time, if the other client needs help, they'll help it.
Yeah.
You know, it's a wonderful experience. You wouldn't expect to find that in a shelter.
Yeah.
I think you could visit any of the rest of them and you would find a little non-cooperation, you know, with the staff or with anybody else. But here, everybody seems to be together, you know, and have your best interests at heart. Whether you deserve it or not, you get the same treatment every day.
And that's something our founders actually held close to their hearts. We've been here for 35 years, Sam. And originally when they opened up Stevens Center, their main mission or their main focus was the idea that every individual deserves kindness, dignity, and respect.
Well, it works.
And that's what we're trying to do, you know, and it's about how can you have kindness, dignity, and respect without giving people second chances, 10th chances, however many chances it is. We're all human.
Absolutely.
We all make mistakes. We all deserve to have love and support around us.
Right.
To be the best versions of ourselves that we could possibly be.
Right.
And, man, it took 83 years for a rock bottom. And then you hit it. And then we're here. And now you're moving. Now you got a second. How many chances have you had?
This is my first chance.
There you go. See?
You know.
Right.
Well, life had been good to me, you know, and I had an aneurysm right there at L Street and exit ramp, and R75.
You were behind the wheel?
Yes, I was driving semi, and
That's scary.
Yeah.
but my surgeon had been instructing me what to look for when I was about to have the aneurysm. And at Q Street, I felt it coming on, just like he said it would. And I dialed 911, pulled over the side, dialed 911, and just by the grace of God, the emergency squad was right up the street.
Wow.
Wow.
And they got there in time to save my life.
What did they have you watching for? What were these signs or?
Well, at first, I felt like nauseous. And then my vision got real blurry,
Okay.
and the weakness came. So I said, oh, got to pull over here.
Yeah.
And
Right.
I pulled over. I didn't really realize that I was that close to the rescue squad.
Yeah.
And then I just pulled over and I dialed 911. And just like that, they was there. And they said, what hospital? I said, UMC. That's where my surgeon was, you know. And I was blessed again because he was still there at the hospital. Didn't have to wait. So they were saying I wasn't going to make it. And I'm saying, you're full of it.
Yeah.
That's not your call.
Right.
That's
not,
correct.
That is not your call.
That's correct.
You know, but I thought I was saying it to them, but I was just thinking that.
Right.
You know, and it was an experience. I stayed in intensive care 5.5 weeks. I got up and I started walking. And when I got able to walk the length of the hallway, they sent me to rehab at Hilltop. Another 5.5 weeks.
Wow.
This happened like September 15th of 2015.
Okay.
I had no solid food from September 15th until December 9th.
Wow.
I lost 50 pounds. I'm not gaining it back, but I'm so grateful to be alive,
Well,
I don't worry about the weight,
correct.
you know?
Right.
I'm
Your heart's
grateful.
beating.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm really grateful to the Almighty for two things: sparing my life and sending me here.
We're so happy to hear it. You know, that's why we were founded, and it just feels so good to still be working somewhere that achieves that mission.
Absolutely.
And you're one of many stories, and the fact that you're happy and willing to talk to us today, we're so thankful for that. If you could maybe just think back to when you first got here, who was your case manager, and who really was there for you and that really got you connected to resources and stuff like that?
Andrina.
Andrea, she's a good one.
Yes, yes. I only made one mistake. I was sitting up and forgot that I was supposed to meet with her,
Yeah.
you know, at least once a week. Didn't do it. So she sent me a note. Mr. Anderson, you're supposed to see me at least once a week. Try not to miss again.
Yeah.
So I went in and I apologized to her and told her thank you. You know, it wouldn't happen again. So I haven't had any problem.
Yeah. What kind of things would you and Andrea discuss in a meeting?
The housing situation, you know. I had no drug or alcohol problem,
Yep.
you know. So I had bad temper. That I had. Still have that.
Yeah. I'll remember that.
No, there's a trigger for things, I understand, since I've been here, you know. And if my anger is triggered, I'm a different person.
Yeah.
I don't think the same, and
Yeah.
sure enough, don't act the same. A lot of times I'll do a lot of cursing right away.
Yeah. You and I both. You and I both. My kids know all about it. They stay away once they hear me.
After that, I'm ready to fight, whatever you want to do.
So, Sammy, there are a lot of resources available here. What have you found? What did you find that was most helpful?
Other than the food and shelter, I think what was most important to me was the respect from the staff. What I gave, I got. Everyone knows me by name, and I only know my caseworker and Maggie. Everybody speaks to me and calls me Sammy, you know.
Right.
And I'm saying, what's her name?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Right.
I don't remember names very well,
Yeah.
you know, but it was a great experience. I can honestly say it's one of the greatest experiences I've had since I was ill.
Nice.
That's a few years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody was always concerned with, how you doing? Oh, don't do that. I'll do that for you. You know, well, we'll open the door for you, old man. I said, hey.
I ain't that old. Some things you can still do, right?
Some things
Oh,
I
yeah.
can still do, you know. But everybody, you know, from the staff on down, everybody was nice, courteous, and respectful to me, because I did that for everybody else, all the staff and all the residents.
It's amazing what can happen in a community when everybody starts with that main principle in mind.
Yeah.
Now, I have a question. You said you didn't have issues with drugs or alcohol.
Nope.
However, we do have a sober requirement to stay in our shelter.
Right.
What did that mean to you to know that everybody around you had that same sobriety?
Well, I considered myself being fortunate, and probably the only reason that I didn't get off into drugs and alcohol. See, I came out of the Marine Corps at 21. And at 21, I started driving semis over the road. And it was a thing that I didn't think would mix well
Yeah.
with an 80,000-pound
Absolutely.
thing behind you, you know. So I would have a drink. I'll have a drink now, you know, but I don't drink until I'm high or I can't function, you know. So I just never really got to the taste of it where I really missed it because I really didn't like the taste of it.
Yeah.
You know, I drink a couple of beers, have a shot or two, and that was it. And that's after being gone 3 or 4 weeks at a time, you know.
So how did it feel? Did it provide some comfort to you to know that everybody else in the shelter would also be sober? Like you can count on them not being intoxicated while you were staying here.
I thought it was a great thing because this was telling me that this was the place I needed to be so that I would learn from their stories and their lives, you know, what you go through when you use drugs and alcohol.
There you go.
You know, so it was a blessing.
Good.
All the way around.
Good. And then you mentioned the food too. The food was good.
All the food is good.
Chef Robert can do some work.
Yes, he can make something out of nothing, really. And basically the only time that I really enjoyed eating was when I'd see him back there.
Yeah.
I know there was going to be at least 1 or 2 things that I would enjoy.
Yep.
You know?
And somehow you didn't gain any of that weight back?
No.
Because I gained 15 my first 2 weeks here.
Right.
Just as an employee. That's
Well, I've always been very hard to gain weight.
yeah.
I was muscular. I had nice chest, thighs, you know, arms. But when I had that aneurysm, it all went because my body turned on itself.
Atrophy, yeah.
Right.
So I just became looking like the man on the iodine bottle, but I was still looking.
Yeah. That's the important part, right? That's what we're learning through this whole thing is I'm still able to look.
That's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Still got a heart that's ticking.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
God has been good to me. Spared my life, put me in the right place at the right time when I didn't have any place else to go.
So there are no accidents in your opinion, huh? It seems like it
No.
all just lined up. You're on a path.
No, there are no accidents. What happens to you has a reason. You know, and my reason was to be in this place at this time.
Yep.
Now it's time for me to be in my place.
We're happy for you. We're happy for you.
I'm grateful for that to the Almighty and will always remember how nice everyone was to me here.
That's a lot, man. Matt, could you tell us a little bit about what you experienced with Sam? I know Matt here, for those of you that don't know, offers a large number of curriculum on campus, from meditation to spirituality to health and empowerment to men's group therapy.
Right.
You name it, he can do it. Tell me maybe something you took away from your experience with Sam and your classes.
Well, it's a familiar story that I am privileged to witness, and that is somebody coming in on one of their worst days, if not the worst day of their life, and to be able to see someone go from such depths to rise to such heights, and that is very fulfilling to me personally. So. And in Sammy, I got to see that happen, where he was, to start with, withdrawn. He was depressed, didn't quite smile a lot, not like he's doing right now. And you get to witness the change.
That's great.
You get to witness the change by everyone's efforts. And that is one of the things that I really feel is important, is engendering a sense of community, a sense of togetherness, that even though I'm here alone by myself, I am not alone. I am part of a community. I'm part of a supportive group. Everyone that you meet, hopefully, is being respectful and giving you the dignity that you deserve. Simply because I may be down on my luck doesn't make me any less of a person.
Right.
And a lot of times we feel that way when we are down on our luck and we come into a facility that we are less of a person, and we begin to rebuild that.
Right.
And we get that respect back, and we get that dignity back, and we get that sense of self back. And it was really a treat to be able to watch that occur. And to be the success that you are now. In very short order, you're going to be in your own place, sleeping on your own floor
but
until we get
floor.
some furniture.
It's his floor.
But it's his floor,
Yeah.
I
right?
respect that totally.
And you've got to understand that there are 31 other guys who are in a very similar situation, or worse, maybe dealing with substance use issues, or maybe dealing with mental health issues, or physical issues. There are no end of what we could be facing, and we've got 32 men in our shelter who, even though they're not the exact circumstances, are in very similar situations. And to be able to engender a sense of community, a sense of support, is huge. It really is huge that our shelter men are supportive of the men in the dorms. Our shelter women are supportive of the ladies in the dorms. And to see you go from such a low to such a great height is just special.
It feels great.
It's just really special.
And you touched on something there that I want to make sure we follow up on, is you kept referencing this sense of community.
Yes.
And I would like to take a moment just to point out that Stevens Center doesn't do this on our own. We partner with many organizations in the community that I'm sure had a hand in you getting rehoused.
Okay.
So we want to thank our community partners, and we're not here
Right.
saying that Stevens Center does it on its own. We can't do it without our community partners. There's plenty of resources out there. It's our case manager, Andrena, that can connect a guy like Sam to these different resources. So we all come together as a community and do our little parts to see this type of success today.
Well, it's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
Now, if you could just take a moment, and then we'll be done with you and get you to your new apartment, because I can tell you're ready.
Okay.
Just, is there anything that you would like to say to the people out there that might be in similar shoes that you were, or in a similar situation?
Yes. If you have problems with alcohol, drugs, mentally, or any problem that just needs a little bit of guidance, a little bit of support, this is the place to be, the Stevens Center. You got plenty of support, plenty of help, people willing to help you.
Yeah.
Go the extra mile, All you got to try to do is obey the rules.
Yeah.
Any place you go, you got to obey the rules. Otherwise, it don't turn out too well.
Good. That's great. And I would like to just close with, I would love to see you again, but not as a client. I'd love to see you come back as a volunteer someday.
Okay.
I think that your wisdom and your insight to what you went through could be very beneficial to other clients that come through our doors.
All right.
So just please consider that.
I will.
Because we're not going anywhere.
Okay. Well, once I get my furniture, I'll probably rest on it.
Yeah, I would take time. We always ask, give yourself 6 months or so before you even consider doing it.
Okay.
But just remember that you have a family here, and you have a community here that's going to be here for you at any time. So
Okay, I'm grateful.
all right, Sam, it was such a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you.
This was fantastic. Matt, anything?
No, I'm good.
All right. Well, this is episode 2 of the Help Hope Heroes podcast. It's a Stevens Center podcast recorded live at a homeless shelter. We thank you for your time, and we're wishing you the best of luck. We're going to be rooting for you.
Thank you.
All right, Sam.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. You're one of the best instructors I ever met.
We got that on recording.
Hey, there you go.
You are.
All right, Sam. Thank you so much.